They must be dealt with.
Ah, a new customer. How may I be of service?
Rumor has it that you are the best at what you do. I have need of such services.
My prices are quite high. Oh, yes. Your offer is quite generous. I'll take care of them immediately.
Don't trust magic money. Hello everyone and welcome back to Neopets the Darkest Faerie. Welcome to Brightvale, our new royal town that we get to explore and pretty much as a safe haven since Meridel's gone. I technically do have a bit of criticism when it comes to Brightvale, but I'm going to save that for the next video because this one is going to be packed with a whole bunch of things. Specifically with dialogue. We're going to be talking with a whole bunch of people in the village and then also into the castle as well. Especially when we get our first opportunity to go through both playing as Roberta and Tor and seeing what different dialogue there is, and we're going to go pretty much through it as quickly but as fully as I can. In terms of dialogue, Roberta is more appropriate to use in the entirety of Brightvale because people know who she is and what is supposed to actually be happening here. But every now and again, there's actually going to be some connection to having Tor actually talk. Which I find sometimes is a missed opportunity, but then again, the amount of detail they put into the dialogue, which is missed by a majority of players, is understandable. Why would you go around talking to everybody unless you're someone who likes doing that in RPGs? Hello, sir. You just randomly wave and don't move. It's also when you go in digging into this a whole lot, eventually you will see various punctuation errors and spelling errors. Not a whole lot, but a few. This girl, though, is a very... It's kind of weird seeing the same species as a baby. Her as just a little kid, anyways. No, I'm not afraid of nothing. Well, you can ask a knight yourself. I'm a knight of Meridel.
Nah.
He will still ask the question, though. I think that's just going to be the thumbnail now. Anyway, there's our own stretch of lords that we have versus Meridel Castle, dealing with his wintering schedule and being all prim and proper during the state of events that are happening around the world. But of course, some dialogue is more interesting than others, especially this guardsman who is specifically talking about Tor. So you think, okay, if I switch over to Tor, what does he have to say to me personally? Absolutely nothing. Apparently it was just another missed opportunity. You have nothing to say to my face? No. Of course not. I'm not sure how I feel about the different armor that the Brightvale Knights have. You certainly don't see them a whole lot, so I kind of enjoy them a little bit more, just because the moment's fleeting. But then you have this guy, who, depending on which side of the buildings he's on, the right side or the left side, he will either be okay and you can talk to him, or he'll despawn. Like, I'm surprised that Meridel and Brightvale have one NPC that just decides to despawn if they're in the wrong location. So I will just admit a lot of these sections are either live or in post. This one's in post just because during my recording I had a little error show up as I was exploring Brightvale, including one of the more interesting glitches I've had. Mainly duplicating very specific characters, including the lady and the guy who manages the wheel. So yeah, nothing really comes along error-wise, but just having the fact that there is a duplication of some NPCs who you can't talk to at all, including this woman who is really uppity. It's like you actually know me to a T. Then there's this guy, like he duplicated in the exact same place, so you wouldn't notice unless you actually started talking to him, which makes this weird meshing, which I haven't seen since like playing Mass Effect 1. Whoa, go, I gotta get out of the corner, the camera's going really... Oh my goodness. Okay, this is really weird. Oh my goodness. The last thing also is apparently since I've duplicated those NPCs, 2 other NPCs have not shown up. I didn't notice about the other one, but we'll come back to that one. But Sid, there's supposed to be a guy who's in this stand here in order to do what's in there, but he won't show up either. So yeah, good times. But don't worry, if you go into pretty much any building and just come out again, the game resets itself, so it's not a hard reset that you have to do. But for the most part, that is for the people of Meridel, minus the shops. So now we can head over to the castle, which has some interesting turrets and parapets over there. They're just floating. So, Brightvale Castle is significantly smaller than Meridel Castle is. There's not like the 4 floors of exploration you're able to do here. It's more like 1.5. A lot less people, too. Mainly you just have the Herald here, which... Man, they went all out with vocabulary.
Hey!
Well, there isn't anything glad that's happening here. But at least we have the august presence of Tor here to help out. Alright. Let's not waste any more time. We have plenty of time to waste later. Let's talk with King Hagen.
My most esteemed lord and master, King of Brightvale, may I present your niece and premier diplomat, the most gracious Lady Roberta.
He knows who I am.
You're back. I didn't see Sonorum arrive. What news from Fairyland? Good news, I trust.
Fairyland has fallen, Uncle. Overcome by the same forces that overwhelmed Meridel.
But that's not possible. Fiora was our only hope. We must get Saradar on this right away.
He's fallen as well, Uncle.
The clouds change Neopets, sire. It drives them mad. Your sorcerer is now one of them.
Then there is no hope. My advisors say the clouds will be upon us in less than 3 days. It has already swallowed Bogshot and Market Town.
There is some hope, Uncle. These amulets, they offer protection against the clouds. We were charged to keep them on us at all costs. If we can enter the clouds and find the source of their dark magic, we might find a way to stop them.
This sounds awfully dangerous for a diplomat. Maybe another should...
I never wanted to be a diplomat. I'm a sorceress.
To be fair, sire, I've seen her use her spell. She's quite good. Really, she is.
It seems I've little choice in the matter. So be it. You are charged as champions of Bright Vale to find the source of this evil and put an end to it. And son,
Yes, sire?
take good care of her.
Geez, with half of that scene, Tor really doesn't know what to do, but it kind of wins me over with Roberta a little bit because she's a lot more natural than Tor could ever be. This is a mention of if you ever are not sure where to go next, come back to King Hagen and he'll actually tell you where to go. Except for this part, where you actually have to talk with Dryden over here, and he will give you a clue about where to go next. It's strange. But he will say that we have to go and protect our closest neighbor. That neighbor is pretty obvious who you're going to be going to next, because you're given a lot more than just this one hint about where you need to go. More about where you should go first. Alright. This wonderful, bright, green throne room is pretty nice. We'll return later.
First things first. We need to do some research to see if this has happened before.
But how? Where do you find information on purple clouds?
You do have books in Meridel, right?
The king has a library, but I've heard he just uses it to impress princesses.
Well, Bright Vale prides itself on its books. The Royal Library has practically every book ever written. There must be something there. Come on.
Now, the first thing that we're actually given to do, because really that cutscene is there just to direct you. And that is to do some research in order to get the ultimate goal of what we're doing in Act 3. Well, by help you mean one night, but yeah, I guess. I find that the guards are the most changed with their dialogue between Tor and Roberta. But anyway, guess what this means? It's time to go into another library! Yay! Library number 3 in this game. They really like their libraries, and making use of them to show off just a big open space that's full of learning. I love learning. But this library is a little bit weird. Mainly that the books that we're kind of looking for are out of our reach. And a little bit strange. Like Roberta's face. Oh, there we go. Okay. Perfect. So, how are we supposed to get up there? Well, we might as well just go and talk with the few people who are actually in the library at this point. There's only 3 people in here, so it's wide open and also very quiet. This guy also mentions a Cahedron, who is someone I don't believe is actually connected to Neopets lore. As far as I remember off the top of my head, I'll have to do another note about this later, is that he's from Arthurian legend. He is connected to Tristan and Isolde, and I can't remember where he is in that story, but apparently that's where he's from. But I couldn't find any Neopets connection, which is interesting and strange. How can you have a second floor when there isn't a floor to the second floor? So yes, we don't have any ladders in order to get up there. At least big ladders anywhere. So we'll have to, shall we say, improvise in order to get up there, in order to read the giant books? Lore also gives us kind of vague hints as to what is actually in those books that we're going to be eventually reading. They also made him very ancient Greek, which I kind of like. Then there's this lady. We're going to be looking at her a little bit later, but let's just say she is the most passive-aggressive character in the entire game. There's also a few books in the library that we haven't seen yet, mainly about the story of Sir Magentius, who apparently went against the king in order to let in thieves into the Bright Veil vaults, and died for his crimes, because the criminals killed him. Interesting story. Then there's a little bit about Bogshot. Just that they're in a swamp. Last time we heard about Bogshot, the only time was with Grayson. We don't even know where he is. Then we have a little bit more about the Wereloop Wars, which connects the Wereloop King to Illison a little bit more. Then she cast her spell. And also Market Town. I'm going to be super excited to talk about a little bit about Market Town when we finally get there, because Market Town's really cool. I love it. But anyway, how are we supposed to get up to one of those books? Well, to the right of the entrance there is this glowing little pressure pad that for some reason moves the bookcases around? Well, at least we can kind of get up to it. The big ladders might be gone, but the regular ladders that are with the bookcases are still here. We just have to do a little bit of parkour, jumping on top of the bookcases in order to eventually reach the ledge and pull ourselves up. So now we can read our giant book that I'm not sure who would have made this. It's more about tomatoes than anything. So we have the Darkest Faerie. With the power to conjure nightmares, the Dark One tried to seize the city but was repulsed. She returned, having attained greater powers, and destroyed the city she helped found, Altador. Darkest Faerie has mentioned that it has been like 1,000 years for her, so Altador is a very old city. Kind of no remnants of it anywhere. She completely leveled it, I guess. So we have to find the next book. However, I wonder actually what they say. Yeah, so this is something I didn't notice until I started practicing for this recording. That if you talk to the people in the library, as you are slowly moving the bookcases around, they will notice and they will comment about it. I didn't know this, and I was so excited that there was actually dialogue for this. Especially from Lady Bovanova. Oh, what a mess you're making. Someone here has very little concept of common courtesy. You're looking at her. Just say what you want to say. Be aggressive, not passive-aggressive. But too bad. We get to do this a couple more times in order to get to the rest of the books. So, here we go. Book number 2. Sometimes the curved platforms are a little bit annoying. Too late to save the legendary city of Altador, Fiora attacked the Darkest Faerie. In the end, it took the powerful magic of Fiora's wand to stop the evil one's advance. destroyed out the door and didn't get any further. But now we have an idea of what it takes in order to take down the Darkest Faerie. Fiora's Rod. Wherever it might be, we don't know. But maybe the next book knows. But yeah, she's getting a little peeved. The nerve of some people, again, talking to me, I think someone should leave the library now. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. This guy I'm a little bit more sympathetic towards, because I am moving stuff everywhere, but I'm not moving it that much, man. Like, just move about 10 feet to the right in some cases, and you'll find the same category. Maybe you need to invent a new library system, huh? Or maybe get those ladders back ASAP. Huh? Alright. Book number 3. It's a little bit easier to get to. Can still fall off, though. Alright, the Kings of Meridel. Saddened by the king's great loss and touched by his sacrifice, Fiora presented him with the greatest gift she could offer, her wand. The king took it from her respectfully. He understood how powerful a legacy had been placed in his hands. It was put in the place of honor within the great treasure vault. That guy with his beard and horn helmet. Okay. So the deal is that the Darkest Faerie was destroyed or defeated by Fiora's Rod, and apparently there was something that happened during the wars, and Fiora gave the wand to the king at that point, which was still like 1,000 years ago, and then he put it in the Great Treasure Vault so that nobody could get to it because it's such a powerful artifact. Oh yes, it's been so... Oh! If there was dialogue, it's like, I'm feeling so quiet and restful. She's going mad. Calm down, lady. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm almost done. Cool your jets. Why are you doing this to me? Oh boy. Oh, me. Me in university. Oh, this is good. You know why? Because the second floor books are what I need to read. There you go, at least you know why. I guess. It's gonna... Maybe you don't have that pressure pad, okay? Or have it automatically so that you're pushing bookcases around when people read the book. How about that? Anyway. Alright, the fourth book, of course, is in the center, because the only bookcase that moved is the one right behind where the third book was. Except this one is a little bit annoying to get to because you have to kind of awkwardly jump around the circular area, and the platform doesn't give you enough clearance to walk either. So it might take a couple tries, but you'll have to do like weird, awkward jumps in order to get to the front of it. Alright. Meridel's Castle, a history. And lo, after the great sinking, followed by the great burning, after the great splashing, there was a great wailing from the people of the fourth castle, as they realized the great treasure vault had been buried for all time. And the kings of Meridel wept. They wept for a very, very long time. Artist rendering, past castles. Okay, I'm just gonna stop for a moment and actually just, point out something very personal about this game. This was the original scene for me, where the entire game blew open and this was just became the greatest thing ever when I played this for the first time. Because when I first played this game, I was a huge Monty Python fan and watched Holy Grail religiously and could recite 25 to 33% of the script off by heart. So when a game like this, a Neopets game on the PS2, makes such a reference to a scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I completely lost it. I have not recovered that this picture and these words were written for a Neopets game. I still can't believe it to this day, because there's no other reference like it in the game. And to even think that with the previous scene that I mentioned, where a boomerang was used to kill someone, that it could be seen as predicting what happens in Sherlock years later. No, this is what broke me. This is what completely broke me. This game is awesome. It's flat out awesome, 10 out of 10. Well done, everything to this. So here's the ultimate goal for pretty much Act 3, is we have the means now in order to defeat the Darkest Faerie. We just need to get them, which is to go into the Great Treasure Vault deep within Meridel Castle, find Fiora's Rod, get it, find the Darkest Faerie again, who is probably still in Fairyland, and defeat her. And the way they constructed it was around a Monty Python reference. I'm like, why? How? How did this happen? So our ultimate goal now is getting Fiora's wand and returning to Meridel Castle, which is going to be a little bit difficult because, it's covered in darkness right now. It's not going to be as easy as just walking into the castle at this point. But now we get to see the full aftermath of everything being moved around in the library, which is the librarian just telling us to get out. It's just go. Just leave. We have no more business here in this library.
Huh?
Please, you're still sore with me.
Huh?
But then there's you over here. What do you have to say now that you've gone completely mad? Oh no, it's fine. You just had almost a breakdown. Yeah, just saving the world. No big deal.
Nah.
Some people, no courtesy at all. Self-righteous to the end. Alright, it's our time to leave. Next time we're going to be going into Bright Vale and exploring what the city has to offer. See you next time, everyone.